Hey guys, welcome to our channel. My name is Tseho. If you're watching for the first time, hope that you enjoy our family over here. And if you've been to our channel before, thank you for clicking back. If you like this video, don't forget to like, share, subscribe, and hit that notification bell so that you're always notified when we upload new videos. So guys, today we're actually not going to be on our property. We're going to be at one of the neighbors' house. Amon has been learning a concept called wicking bed. So this is about growing vegetables on a garden that requires little water. And this is very helpful for those of us who stay in the rural. You know, a lot of the villagers get water from the water pump. Therefore, their water is used for drinking, for washing, and for household things like that. And so there's not really extra to do much gardening. So with the weekend beds, it does help for you to keep a garden with just using minimal water. So anyway, Amon has been learning this and he's been interested in some of the villagers in it. He's not alone. Actually, there's a guy facilitating it in the village and he's been there to volunteer with them. So he's been interested in people, and someone just overheard him talking to someone else, and they were so interested. We passed by their house the other day just to say hi, and we found that they had already dug the bed and they had gotten a lot of things prepared. And so yeah, so today it's organized, it's ready, and so we're having a demonstration day with some of the villagers. Hope you enjoyed this video. Had a slight mission of leaving the puppies behind, but I'm on my way.
Okhona ukuthi we're about to catch our level, so what we need to do is to make sure our reservoir is level, at least not 100% level. If we can get 100% level, if the soil allows, that will be okay, that will be good. But the most, we try and make it the best level we can. So that's what we're about to sort out now before we start our demonstration.
Okay.
Cool.
So what I discovered is that some of the bags had my rubble, and some of them had manure.
All right.
So I think I have one which are able for one bed, which is about 14.
Yeah.
I think they should be short of 14 with 3.
I think the idea comes from what do you call it? Lamp. Kuthiwa yini lamp ngesintu? Light lelana esasilenze ele paraffin lelana. Antsho liyabona light lelana le paraffin alisebenza njani? Ukuthi paraffin yabi phansi. Kodwa walayitha phezulu. Iyabi lokhu imunya.
First of all, the event started with prayer and a vote of thanks, particularly to Akhums, who is the young man who was enthusiastic enough to begin the work of digging the bed and gathering the material and prepared for this event. And a vote of thanks also to his family, the Kumalos, for welcoming the community into their home in order for this to take place. Amon began to explain where the concept of the wicking bed comes from, that it comes from wick lamps. As you know, with a wick lamp, the wick does not produce light by topping up the lamp with oil from the top. The wick drinks the oil from the bottom and it begins to produce light. And this is where the concept of making vegetable beds that mimic a wick lamp called wicking beds comes from. He then also began to talk about the advantages of a wicking bed. He gave 3 advantages. One, once you dig your reservoir and you put all the necessary water that in the reservoir, about 200 liters, from then on, you no longer need to be watering the bed. You just need to top up with your 20-liter bucket, which means that if you don't have access to water in your home, you're able to keep a vegetable garden with minimal water. Secondly, a wicking bed, as you know, there's a lot of manure that's put in the bed. And since you don't water from the top, but you only pour water that goes to the bottom, it means that your manure and nutrients do not get washed down, and you're able to maintain the integrity of the vegetables. And thirdly, protection. Since the wicking beds are on a small space, it means that you can keep your vegetables protected. For instance, we have really hot summer days here in the village, and therefore you can put 4 poles around your bed. Put a sail on top to prevent the heat from scorching the vegetables.
Material afunakalayo kuqala material yakuqala efunakalayo ukuthi
We're going to look at the material that we need. We need 3 main materials. We need the black plastic bag, we need sacks, and then we need the pipe. For starters, the black plastic bag. The reason why we dig our hole 2 meters by 2 meters is that the black plastic bag that we normally get access to is 3 meters by 3 meters. So you want to lay it comfortably in the hole and have some hanging on all sides. Therefore, if at all you're able to get access to a plastic bag that's longer than 3 meters by 3 meters, you can even dig a hole that basically goes with that plastic bag. The important thing is to grasp the concept of a wicking bed, that we need to create a reservoir with water and be able to use that to sustain our vegetables. The second material we need is empty sacks. Lots of people are able to gain access to empty sacks, like for instance, the family that was hosting chickens. They raise chickens, and therefore they have sacks which is for feed, and you're able to use empty sacks like that to lay at once your plastic is on the floor. That is made to protect the plastic bag, to prevent it from tearing. And if you don't have empty sacks, you can use old clothes or old blankets and such things. And the last material is the pipe. You can use a pipe like this, but if you have a different type of pipe, you can use that. Basically, we have room to improvise. It doesn't mean that you have to have exactly the materials like that look like the ones that we have. The most important thing is you want to be able to pour water into your reservoir.
sivala ongamagodigodi lokhu but siza siyenza lakho ukuthi senze futhi ukubamba ilevel yethu. Emakhoneni ezinye azibuye ngani?
You need more?
Yeah, Sunday I started it with that. So now they are meant to prevent ilocosm.
Yeah. I think that one here will do. Which is 1 liter.
The reservoir is being filled with stones. The pipe will be laid, and then after which it will be filled with other rubble that was collected around the home. This is a great idea because it's another way of cleaning the yard, and at the same time, the stones and the rubble is going to lift your water up. And then whenever you top up with your 20-liter bucket for watering each day, it means the level of the water rises and the plants are able to suck the water from the bottom. At this stage, one of the community members was asking where the holes are supposed to be facing, and Amon explained that they should face to the side because if they're facing upwards, should there be any debris that goes into the holes, it will struggle to come out. But if they're facing on the side, it will easily flow out. Even the water is able to be evenly distributed throughout the reservoir.
Because now especially izinto eziningi we advise izinto ezisabisiweyo kudala. Where in the yard they're close to the well.
Mind
I'm about to cover ground because
There are some injunctions where it's not the pain of the needle, it's the pain of the medicine.
Auntie is the way of throwing away that is at home.
it's a way of throw clean your home.
Hey.
All the plastic is good.
These ones I'll take them.
Coffee break.
I'll take them. I want to put something in it.
You want to put your song? I did the same, huh? Yeah, I mean, I was passing when I got those ones. My mom bought it. Very nice one. Yes, that one will put it like in jar also. So, already lot of. So, lay works out easier.
So this is Amon and the young man who dug the bed, and they're actually carrying the manure that they are going to pour into the bed. We didn't finish because there was a lot involved with the process. We actually started at 2 p.m. but still lost a lot of daylight. Anyway, so everybody agreed that we would come back this morning and continue at 10. It's about 10 to 10 now, and it's just around the corner from where I am. Yeah, so when you lose daylight, once it gets dark, it's dark because there's no street lights. So the women had to go home to prepare for their families. So yeah, that's where we're going today. This is typically how people carry water in the village, and sometimes women carry buckets on the head too. So the next steps that were done were after the rubble and the rocks. It was covering with sacks, pouring soil on top of the sacks, and this is the new stage. Salubonani. Yebo, sikhona. So all the soil and all the manure has to be sifted so that there's no thorns or glasses or anything that could hurt a person in there. Yeah, so that you're able to manage your bed.
Yeah.
Ulele papatula mareservoir.
Ulama results.
Umumbu wangikhona.
Hey.
Uyabungaka so.
Yeah.
But
And there's this small my
So he's just explaining that you dig your bed, you're not in a hurry. You look for your rocks, not in a hurry. You just take your time and do it over some days. And that's a sacrifice that you make in the beginning. And basically, if you make that sacrifice, it means that in the future, you don't have to do a lot of trips hauling water to come and water your garden. It just
Yes.
depends on which sacrifice you're willing to make.
about things.
Same
You
thing.
really have the things.
Yeah.
So that's why I was saying, let the next one be 30 down.
30.
And then let's have the 20 above.
Above the ground here.
So that
When that we can demonstrate for the goat because it's 2-1. Lapha ku-too high lapho singafaka i-pressure sisilandele. Phezulu is it's not really necessary because we just level for it to look nice, but the water or anything is not going to affect, because the idea of the bed is that we are not going to water on top. The main thing esimele sikhumbule ukuthi asiyitheleli phezulu. So most of the times in most places ngabe lima bafuna ukuyenzani, bafuna ukuthi beqale belime and then they mulch. But on these beds you can actually mulch first, water, and then plant in the evening.
Now I get it. Don't plant immediately.
You don't plant immediately. But we're going to plant immediately because
it was now late and you don't plant when it's this hot.
so this plant the mulching here too. My teacher, they will tell you there are other people about.
My grandma is a teacher.
Your grandma is a teacher. Yes. There are other people.
No.
If they read for themselves, concept bayizwisisa. I saw the tail because I think
there won't be any watering being done. It's almost like you have to trust that the seedlings will drink water. It's kind of like planting by faith. And after the initial 200 liters, you just have to be topping up with 20-liter buckets every time. Not everybody who came is experienced in gardening or farming, so Amon was just demonstrating how to space different plants.
So what I've discovered is sayihlanyela siyichonise kakhulu iyaphuza ukuyenza ijodo. Hayi sona mfana lenkani kakhulu. Ngabe ngithi yemlimisi mina nilenkani because into esikhuluma ngayo ngiyilimile. I know like ama cucumber angalima besithi swa space meter by meter, mina nga space abaseduzane ngase ngisebenza ukuwanqanda.
Okay, I've taken. Yeah. So we finished doing the beds for today. They ended up doing the mulching more for demonstration purpose because it's easier to plant before you mulch. But since they're planting in the evening, they ended up doing mulching first. So the rest of the planting is going to be done this evening, and then the next follow-up visit will be more to see how the crops are doing and if it's definitely better to do wicking beds, especially for people without a lot of water. So yeah, we'll keep you posted, and thank you for watching. Until next time, see ya.